Welcome to Sacred Stream Radio with Isa Gucciardi. Today, Isa discusses the differences between depth hypnosis and other hypnotherapy models.
So the difference between clinical types of approaches, and again, this is not true of all schools, but most schools that call themselves a clinical hypnotherapy school. First of all, that doesn't really mean much, except it just sounds more important. And the reason that I think people like the idea of a clinical hypnotherapy school is because it is more along the Western model, where the healer is the one in charge, the healer is the one who knows everything, and the healer is the one who's going to fix you. And you, as the patient, just have to give up your power to the practitioner, and you don't have to participate at the level that you would have to participate in a model like depth hypnosis. One of the other big things about the clinical hypnotherapy model is that it focuses primarily, almost exclusively, on suggestion hypnosis and or Ericsonian type hypnosis, which is hypnosis with indirect suggestion embedded in it. So that would be the kind of thing that you would be studying at a clinical hypnotherapy school. With depth hypnosis, it's quite the opposite. It's understood that the patient knows what they need in order to help themselves heal, but they just can't access that information. And so the depth hypnosis practitioner doesn't in any way take on the power of the patient and take on the responsibility for healing from the patient. The depth hypnosis practitioner always keeps the responsibility for healing at the source where the wounding takes place, because that's the only way it can really occur. In depth hypnosis, there is the engine of Buddhism and shamanism kind of rumbling in the background of the interface with the client. And both of those spiritual traditions are recognized by transpersonal psychology in the West as being valid, in that in transpersonal psychology, as opposed to clinical psychology, transpersonal psychology recognizes that there is a larger aspect of the self, or a larger field of experience outside the conscious mind, that participates in healing. And Carl Jung, who is the godfather of transpersonal psychology, and some people call him the godfather of transpersonal psychology, he said that you cannot have healing without the participation of spirit. And of course, both shamanism and Buddhism are different ways of accessing the human experience on a spiritual level that is non-dogmatic. Both of them are non-dogmatic. There's no proselytization that takes place, nothing like that. So in depth hypnosis, you've got this emphasis on transpersonal psychology as opposed to clinical psychology. And also, with most clinical hypnotherapy programs, you are working in the purview of the conscious mind. You're getting the conscious mind to lie down and rest a little bit. But the suggestions that you are giving are within the purview of the conscious mind. It's sort of like cognitive behavioral therapy for the unconscious aspect of the conscious mind. You're not necessarily getting to that larger experience of the self that depth hypnosis seeks to open people to. And also that transpersonal psychology has lots of different models within it that show and demonstrate the healing capacity of this larger aspect of the self on the conscious mind. So with depth hypnosis, you're reaching beyond the confines of the conscious mind. And again, with clinical psychology, you are working only within the conscious mind, trying to make adjustments within the conscious mind and trying to get the person to be able to behave according to a particular norm. So that's the kind of education you'll get with clinical hypnotherapy. Now, with depth hypnosis, you are definitely going far beyond the reaches of the conscious mind. It's understood that the healing that is available to you may lie in something like a past life, and you access it through a past life regression. It may be in a part of yourself that is caught outside of time, which in shamanism is called soul loss. And in that case, depth hypnosis has adapted shamanic techniques for soul retrieval that seem seamless and don't require the patient to buy into shamanic understandings. There's a very beautiful adaptation of the soul retrieval process in depth hypnosis that is very powerful. So, in depth hypnosis, you also have this understanding about the nature of suffering from Buddhism, which is where are your attachments, where are your aversions, and where are your ways in which you have made incorrect decisions about the nature of reality, which in Buddhism is called ignorance. So, as a depth hypnosis practitioner, you're always looking to help the client understand, where are they falling in these three areas and how is that affecting their suffering. So you see it's a much deeper and broader education in depth hypnosis. Sometimes people think that depth refers to how deep you go. No, in terms of the trance, but no, it's how deep you go within the self. And so I find that depth hypnosis is very helpful for people who already know there's something beyond the conscious mind but don't have an organized way of accessing it. One of the really important aspects of depth hypnosis is that it emphasizes the transformation of the practitioner so that the practitioner can become a vehicle of transformation for others.
Thanks for listening to Sacred Stream Radio, brought to you by Red Cow Records and the Foundation of the Sacred Stream. For more information, please visit us on the web at sacredstream.org.